My name's Timothy Mills, and I'd like to call to order this meeting on the abatement of dilapidated public hearing for the City of Pryor in Tulsa, Oklahoma, July 20th, 2023. The first thing on here should be in the matter of dilapidation on the property of Donald Musterman, 213 North Ora. Is Donald? Hey, Donald. Sure.
Okay. It's just this where I'm at and where we're headed.
Okay, where you're at and where you're headed. Yeah. No, you was in here last month and we talked about this.
Yes, sir.
And you said that you had somebody lined up to take care of fixing everything out there, right?
Yes, sir. That explains an awful lot of it right there.
This is, okay,
But,
give me just a moment.
Sure. No, that was my own. When we took a picture of it, she took both sides.
Okay.
Or,
You're fine. Job will return starting this weekend. Okay, and I appreciate that.
Sure.
I do think that there's that house needs a lot of work.
Yes.
I had the opportunity today to drive by there and visit your property.
Okay.
And there's a lot of construction debris being stored outside on the ground.
That's
okay.
This
Right. So everything needs to be cleaned up on the lot while the construction's going on.
Surely.
You know, if
And has been, by the way, four of them, the big dumpsters, no, 3.
Oh, sure, yeah.
Yeah, but the next trip, we're just waiting on a truck, and so we'll have it by this weekend.
Okay, and that. As we're going forward, you know, if there's clothing items like a coat, coat, gloves sitting outside. I haven't worn a coat in several months, and somebody needed a coat, but if there's trash or clothes strung out, you know, it's sitting on the front porch.
Well, I'm sorry, it won't be.
Okay, it's been laying there for a while, and it was obvious it had been laying there a while. It had dust on it so bad. The coat does.
Okay.
So somebody left their coat there and never came back and got it. But if it's laying there, it's going to invite somebody that needs a coat this winter to come walking up there and say, oh, somebody doesn't want this coat. Okay. Somebody doesn't want this property. And it's going to invite.
I'll have that all cleaned up.
Okay, yeah, I know, I hear you. But we were at the same place last month. And really nothing, it doesn't look like anything had been done.
Can you see that it was painted?
I saw that it was painted they painted gray. It was painted gray.
Yes, sir.
That part of it looked decent. The windows and where the flashing on the windows and the new windows, I don't know who your window guy is, but make sure that that's done the right way. I'm not saying what they're doing or what they're doing is right or wrong, but having somebody that really knows what they're doing to install those.
Okay. We do have that. And I was at Lowe's today.
Right.
And to buy windows.
Yes.
They're closed. The electricity and the computer is out. So here I am without my windows still, but I'll have them tomorrow.
But that's what we can hope for. So we're going to put this off until the 17th of next month.
Things will change by that promise.
And it needs to. It really needs to.
Okay.
Okay. And 17th of next month, and you know, as long as we're seeing progress, we're not asking for perfection, but you know, for the sake of the folks that live around it.
My partner and experienced construction guy was lucky enough to get a temporary job for the last couple of weeks. Today was his last day. Okay. And so things will change a lot.
Okay. Very good. Very good. All right, Don, I appreciate your time. I'll see you on the 17th of next month.
Thank you for understanding.
I do.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Item number 4 on our agenda is the matter of the dilapidation of the property of RRR Homes, LLC, 707 South 8 Error. Hi. And who are you, sir?
Tyler Axwell.
Tyler?
Yes, sir.
All right, thank you.
That's a picture before now.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Yeah, this is a total remodel,
Yes.
and down to the bones. There's a, and I appreciate that you, the amount of money and time you've invested in this. There's some high grass and weeds on your property as well.
Yeah,
That
I
while,
got a dumpster out there this morning, actually.
yeah, I saw the dumpster and it's got the cover, I see this cover, this red tin is laying in that dumpster now.
Yeah.
There's also some pretty deep holes full of water. Do you know what that water is coming from, where it's?
I think it's just from either digging or people, I don't know exactly.
Yeah,
I'll go check it out, but
Yeah, there's several deep holes, and the mosquitoes coming out of those has got to be eating everyone in the neighborhood up.
and I got a guy mowing tomorrow.
Okay, yeah, that's good, because
And I
it's,
apologize for that. Usually so I build about 15 homes a year, and I do
Right.
remodels, engineering a power company, so
Right,
try to
see-
take care of my stuff.
right,
I built additions in Pryor, so
good, good,
apologize
good.
for not keeping it.
Right, and, yeah, and it's got, getting to,
Yeah, I understand.
getting there. But you're gonna have some, yeah, you was out there today too?
Yeah.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
Looked at it, I was like, oh, man.
And, you know, from where we were, you know, to where we're at to now, this is gonna be a beautiful home. And it's gonna be a beautiful lot once it's mowed and cleaned up.
And I do got a contract on it, and she can't close till September, so that's kind of why I'm slow rolling it a little bit.
Okay,
She's had with the Cherokee Nation, she's getting through that program for first time home buyer, whatever it is.
right.
So it's kind of my fault for procrastinating on a little bit on the cleanup, but
So this is, you're saying that this is gonna close in September?
September, yep.
Okay. But you're gonna maintain it up until that
Yes,
point?
sir.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll have it done probably within 6 weeks. But that's why it's kind of been slow rolling and letting it go. Usually
Well,
I knock them out in about 2
I'm
weeks.
gonna kick you out 60 days to the 21st of September meeting.
Okay,
That should get it past the time that it closes, and you can come in here and say it's sold,
okay.
or not come in here at all, and I'll know that it's sold.
Okay.
And I'll know that it's sold, and we'll be able to close this book.
Okay.
And-
Sorry, I'm ignorant to this. I missed a few meetings, but I thought once I started the process, I didn't have to keep coming in here. So that's my apologies.
Well, no, we're all learning here,
Yeah.
and we're just trying to make Pryor better,
Understand.
you know,
I'm trying,
and,
I'm born
and,
and raised here, so I'm
right.
trying the same thing.
and I want the same thing too. So, we'll move you out to the, September 21st.
May I ask a question?
Sure.
Are you selling it as it is, or are you gonna finish up the inside?
I'm finishing everything.
Okay,
I just, like I say, usually I take 2 months probably to finish a house like that. But I started back in, what was it, March, I think I got my permit.
Right.
She went through the Cherokee Nation deal, and they lost some of her paperwork, and you know how that goes with Cherokee Nation. So I don't want to finish it and have all this money tied up paying interest for 6 months, and that's why I've procrastinated on it a little bit, so.
well, I'm just talking from our experiences, doing what I've done is, you know, somebody will sell it to somebody else, and somebody will sell it to somebody else before anything gets completely, and it's a habitable
Yeah.
place for somebody to live.
Yeah. That's not what I'm doing here.
Okay.
Honestly, that's
Okay,
what
thank
happened
you.
the first time. I don't know
Right.
if you guys heard the story, but, and I kept my word and bought it back off the gentleman because he didn't do what was right, so.
Right, thank you.
That's,
Yeah, this
the way I
property
handle things, so.
has been on the radar a long
Yeah.
time, and we just want to get it cleaned off.
Yeah, I
And that water out there that's standing,
I'll check it.
I'm concerned with that. Just West Nile,
Yeah.
this time of year is getting
Yeah.
bad. You can buy dunks
Yeah.
at the Lowe's, or Home Depot,
Well, I got a
Walmart.
dirt work gal come through. We're gonna sod it. No, I mean, we do
Right,
everything right, so.
right.
I'll get him out there and we'll get it cleaned up.
Oh, that'll be great. The neighbors will be so happy.
I'll get it taken care of.
All right.
Appreciate it.
We'll see you back the 21st. Thank you. Number 5 on the agenda tonight is the matter of the dilapidation of the property of Vance T. Ramsey, 210 North Whitaker.
And
Hey.
it does say on the agenda, no plumbing permit, but I got one today, so, for the gas line.
Oh, for the gas line.
Made quite a few calls trying to get that in person. Basically, that's what
FedEx was at your place.
I don't
What's the
know.
deal?
Yeah, what, yeah,
They were looking for 210 and a half.
Oh, in the alley behind there. I was
Oh,
like,
was it?
I guess, there is a two-tier.
okay, I see that, I see
Yeah,
you've
I'm
got,
not having package.
you had a trailer full of,
Yeah, that was from a
debris.
different project.
You're right. And what exactly, you're gonna have to replumb this?
No, it was just a gas pressure test.
Oh, okay, so you're gonna have to,
It's taken him a while. But
right. Melt.
We got a new pressure relief tank on the hot water tank. He
Right,
suggested that, so.
yeah, those are good.
I think the building inspector has a question.
Yes, sir.
Question on that there, who's gonna be finishing out, topping out, you know, the fixtures and setting you know, toilets and stuff like that in there?
The toilets are already, it's already in.
I mean, somebody's had to do it, right?
Right.
Who did it?
I did it.
Okay, you know that you can't do that because you're not a licensed plumber on there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, all right, so you'll need, that's why we kept telling you from the beginning, you can't really do anything, you know, as far as with the trades and stuff, because you're not licensed, and that's not your home. I mean, even though it's gonna rent house or sell it or whatever, unfortunately, that's the way the code is. So you will need to list a licensed plumber, for any of those faucets or anything that's gonna be installed, or have them come in and double check everything on it, if you will, please.
Yes.
And then you get with Cheryl, let her know through that. I know S and J is gonna do that gas line pressure test and stuff for you, so.
Yeah, and he worked on the hot water tank.
You might wanna check with them and see if they can just double check everything real quick and then sign off, you know, on it for us then. Okay? Thank you.
Okay, and I see you've gone through a lot here with getting it back into some kind of shape. It does look a lot different than it used to.
Thank you, yeah. I just paid off the central heat and air.
Right.
This week.
Oh, good,
They
good.
Finished paying Melton's, so.
Well, yeah, but what he was saying, as far as the trades go and all that, we gotta make sure that everything's safe for the people if we do lease it out, or if you do sell it to somebody 5 years down the road, that they're safe, you know, they can occupy the structure and it not have anything mechanical go wrong with it. But as it sits now, we'll just kick this out 30 days.
Okay.
And we'll, will that give you enough time to get the pressure test done?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so that would move you out to August 17th.
One more question. Building inspector,
Oh,
Kenny.
I just thought of something, on the south side of your lot, that grass that's tall, is that yours or is
No,
that
I
somebody
think
else's?
there's a lot in between.
Okay.
So that's somebody, because Trina didn't.
Oh, I saw it and I was,
The height was getting pretty bad, so that's,
Yeah.
I just didn't know if that was yours or not.
No, I think my lot's goes the other way with the fence.
okay,
We don't have a survey on it or nothing, but.
okay.
but I know that lot next door is starting to get grown up.
Yeah, it was like that
Probably
last
needs a
year.
case on it.
Yeah, we'll get it. Okay, so that one.
It's brush hog material by now.
Yeah, it's getting grown
It's
up.
rough in there too.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
the dirt, the
Tear up a mower.
lands like that,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well,
Yeah, I think they're doing a final on the heating and air also.
but
That's what they call.
They didn't call yet, but I'll check.
I saw the permit that you had for the heat and air, so that's good. We'll see you back here on the 17th.
Okay, thank you, sir.
All right, thanks. Number 6 on the agenda tonight is in the matter of dilapidation on the property of Gabrielle Ruiz and Jeanette Nahira, 306 North Indianola.
I don't believe anyone's here. I spoke with them by email today. They had the plumber get in today to do some work. They sent pictures. There may be pictures in the file of some of the plumbing work, and they told me the plumber would be scheduling an inspection on Monday.
Oh, he will be inspecting Monday.
They haven't called me yet, but he told me he was gonna be telling him that.
Right. Okay. And this was another slow roller, isn't it? Okay. Well, I want to make sure on this one.
The plumber did come in and talk to the building inspector about the job before he started it.
Yeah. See,
If you have
really
anything
my
you
pictures.
wanna
Here's my
add to it.
pictures.
We just talked briefly about some items and stuff on there, but, you know, until we get the okay to go and do an inspection.
You might look on the next section where the photos are. You can see the photos he sent in to me. It's on, you have to turn to the back.
All the way to the back.
They're right there.
Oh, there it is. Okay. Yeah, yeah, I remember this one. You know, this is one of our slow rollers. It's been plaguing us for a long
Property owners
time.
in California, family members here.
Right, right. And, you know, and they've let the yard kind of get out of hand back up in the corners and along the fence lines too. They've got a big dip in the yard that used to be a burn pit and things like that needs to be cleaned up. You know, I see that they did put some new windows in it, but it's been that way and.
They've usually kept it boarded up and mowed for the most part.
Right.
Their work is just inside slow because the family work throughout the week and work on weekends and nights.
Okay. And that's fine. But there has to come a point where the length of patience that we can actually let a property stay in the dilapidated state without it.
The thing you can look at is their construction permit.
Yeah. Permitted. Building permit, trades with their own permits.
6 months that expires.
Yeah. Yeah.
If no work is being done on the building part of it.
Right.
The trades are current, so
Right.
you have to decide whether,
Well,
kind of that part of it. That
Everything's
was just
blocked
showing
off
you
in the
that part.
windows, yeah, and that's only good for 6 months, and it
If no
expires in
work-
August.
If no work is being done on the building part,
Right.
the trades are still good because they're current.
The permit's good, but they're not doing anything,
The plumber has been,
yeah.
and I don't know about, I don't remember.
Okay. So something is getting done, it's just slow rolling still. Well, you know, we'll go ahead and kick it out to the 17th of August.
I'll email the homeowners.
Yeah.
And try to pin them
And
down
that's-
to something.
And, you know, it's been going on, since the initial case on this has been going on for several years.
Yeah, I will email them and let them know about that building permit and try to
Yeah.
get some,
Thank you.
see if I can tie them down a little bit.
Sure, let them know. And item number 7 on the agenda is the matter of the dilapidation on the property of James D. Trimble and Clara A. Trimble. It's 311 North Kuwaya.
Hi,
Hi,
I'm Wanda Cummings, I'm a realtor,
okay,
and I'm representing Claire Trimble.
okay,
James, her husband, has passed away,
okay,
and she got left with his rentals.
right,
And so anyways, we're asking that you give us the time to get this done. We have it under contract. It is being bought by Blue Quest Investments, who I have really went over the whole issue of getting that cleaned up
Right.
and what have you. Now, I'm expecting this to close within 2 weeks.
within 2 weeks.
It's a cash deal. We actually have it set at August 17th.
Mm-hmm.
But because it's a cash deal, abstract only, it should be 2 weeks, done deal.
Okay.
He's ready to move his people in, clean the trash, do the yards,
Yes, it
all of that stuff.
needs
It
a
does.
lot.
She lives in Kansas.
Right.
and she's older than I am.
Okay.
And so it's very hard for her to get
Okay.
around and get this done, but we do have a contract on it, so we're just asking for the time.
Yes, and you have the contract, to take care of
Yeah,
this
I
by
sent
the
a copy.
17th?
Yes, it's, what's their intention with the house?
They're going to completely redo it. They checked the
Well-
foundation was good,
Right,
and so they're gonna go in, completely gut it and redo
Right.
it.
right. And at the same time, you know, there's other code violations going on at the same time on the property, you know, that it needs to be cleaned up. You know,
Oh,
if there's trash,
absolutely.
junk and debris outside,
They're gonna bring in dumpsters.
yeah?
Just wanna make sure that they understand they'll need a structural, engineer report on the house.
You had already declared it dilapidated,
Yeah,
and so
Yeah.
because you had already declared it dilapidated,
Right.
for her to tear it down, he's asking for a structural engineer's report now
okay,
to determine that it is viable to build
that
it
it
back.
can be, that it can be.
Because you had already declared it
Right.
dilapidated, you'd have to rescind your, I think legally, you may have to rescind your because you declared it dilapidated
Right, it is.
and
And
ordered her to
it's
tear it
unfit for
down.
human occupation as it
Yeah,
sits right
so
now.
you may have to rescind that if
Okay.
you're going to let them fix it.
Okay.
I don't know if you've
I-
ever had that come up before.
Well, no, we haven't had that really come up. Usually, once we issued the order to tear it down, that it was tore down within, you know, the next 2 weeks. It wouldn't have lasted this long. But you're here, and you're saying you've got a cash offer that will get the lady taken care of, the property back on, into some kind of remodeled state so that someone can live in it. That has to be inspected by an engineer and have an engineer report on what it would take to bring it up to modern standards. Do you have anything, Trent, to add on that?
It was in clean that yard up, get the trash out of there.
He's
Yeah.
prepared to go right in and do it.
Okay,
He's doing another property on Southeast 4th Street over there, and
good.
I'm telling you, he does some fantastic work.
Well,
And so I have no qualms that he's just gonna go in and make that a really nice place.
And Wanda, we've had to do this for other people, have them get us a structural engineer when a house is set this long and been in that state.
Right, and
Yeah.
I will let him know that he will have to have, once this is purchased,
Mm-hmm,
he
right.
will have to have a structural engineer.
yeah.
And then we'll resend this, and I'll help him with
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
as
Okay,
well.
and that's what we want to do here is help. You know, we're not here to just tear down houses.
Yeah,
You know, I understand that the lady and she's lost her husband.
yeah.
And now once we said that we was gonna remove the property, a cash offer has been made for the property, and you're wanting the time,
To just get it closed and let him go in and do what they do, and
right? Okay.
like I said, I'll only
I
advise
don't,
him.
I don't have a problem with that. Because I don't wanna tear down a house that can be saved. So we'll set this matter out to,
Are you aware there's a hole in the roof at the back?
oh, yeah.
I mean, it's the size a truck could fall through.
Yeah, it's gonna have to be a complete gut. The house is gonna have to be
Well, he
gutted.
already knows that, cause the ceiling's coming down.
Right.
Bunch of
Skylight.
drywall's got holes in it.
Yeah.
Doors, I mean, it'll be a complete redo.
Okay.
Okay.
It may be better off just going ahead and demo it and then.
Start
go
over?
back fresh.
Yeah.
On there. Sometimes that has been the best way, you know, to get rid
Yeah.
of something like that and then start back fresh. But like
You
I
know-
said, the structural engineer report, we will have to have that from an actual
No problem.
You know, and also, you know, maybe pass on to him that these people have been living next door to this house with a hole in the roof for years. It's fallen into this state, and it didn't happen overnight. It's been like this, and those neighbors have had to live right next door to it for a long time.
Oh, I understand.
You know, yeah,
I understand,
I
because
would
I
hate
don't
that.
like to sell properties next to
Right,
that either, because
Right.
it's very, very difficult.
sure.
It was not easy to get a
So,
buyer for
yeah.
this either, because she has a small mortgage.
Oh.
And that has to be paid, and she just doesn't have that means.
Okay.
So getting this was a godsend for her.
Yeah,
And,
and I don't want to be a fly in that ointment, but if it's not done, it'll have to be tore down. You know,
Oh,
let's
I
just make sure that
understand.
this sells, and
And
I won't
I've
give you
done-
the time.
I've done structural inspection reports before,
Okay,
and I will walk him through getting that done
thank you,
and
thank you.
the whole thing.
Okay, that sounds wonderful. Thank you so much, and we'll set this out to the 17th.
August 17th.
And do we have a city attorney to see about rescinding that?
We don't yet, but we will soon.
Okay, very good. All right, going up to number 8 on the agenda tonight is the matter of the dilapidation of the property of John W. McPherson, care of Helen McFarland, 515 North Garland.
It's not that bad.
You're fine, you're doing great.
It's just sitting and getting up. John, would you, this is a letter from my brother, John, who is John McPherson.
I believe
Okay.
we have a copy of that in the file.
Okay, good.
Yes.
And what we have come up with, that house is a former section house for the Katy Railroad.
Mm-hmm.
And thinking with this, it's probably 150 years old. And we want to try to offer it to the museum here in Pryor first, but see if anyone is interested in.
The Mays County Historical Society. We just offered it to them. I don't know if they're gonna take it or not. It's, it's kinda,
I understand that it may have some historical significance. 150 years old, it goes before statehood. And the Katy Railroad was kind of a big deal back in the day, and the folks that are from around here know what it is. The whole having the railroad move through Cherokee country and Indian territory at the time was very controversial. It was a big deal to bring that into Mays County and in this part of Oklahoma. So it may be something that they may be interested in. Maybe they don't.
Once it's gone, it's gone.
But that house is gone. That house, you couldn't move it if you wanted to. I mean,
Well, it
that,
needed to be stabilized.
yeah, it would take,
That's what we're thinking, maybe.
yeah, I'd looking at it, if you tried to lift that off the foundations, even if you had steel underneath it, you try to move it going down the road, it was gonna go. I'm not an engineer. I never claimed to be an engineer, but it looks in really bad shape. And it may have been something that they would want. You could find out from them and make that offer to them. But at this time, I don't see any reason. The lawn is over my head. You can't walk through that lot. If you wanted to walk up to that property, you would have to have some kind of
You under-
machete.
Well, the huge pile of dirt and that is not ours. That was placed there by the neighbor who admitted that he did it and he would take care of it, and now he says it's not his. So we will take care of that, but
Yeah.
we just wanted to, anything you try to donate, they cannot say yes or no. I mean, one person can't right now.
Right.
It takes some time, and that's what we'd like to ask for.
Well, and It's right on the edge of town, and one of the things about being on the edge of town that I've learned is that people sitting off of the edge of town will barely make it onto town, and they'll look for places that are unsecured, like that side door is,
That would be-
and go in there and start setting up a camp. And then from that camp, they'll work the edge of town around the edges to do nefarious things and get into things that they shouldn't. If we leave that house open and unsecured, and some kid got in there and it collapsed on top of him, it would be our fault because we know that it's bad. We know that it's bad right now. We know that it's unsecured, and I was a little boy once, and whenever I was a little kid, that would have been something to explore. And, you know, that's just how kids were back then. But kids are the same every day, everywhere. And, you know, that door is just sitting wide open on the side of the house.
It is, my brother has been speaking with people he lives in Alabama.
Mm-hmm.
But to get someone to secure the house, so that wouldn't.
Well,
But where it is not, even if it's completely locked up, there's no one around. So that may be up to maybe law enforcement or something to kind of.
well, the grass is overgrown and the property is unsecured.
We have a huge hole in the lawn from a meter being taken out right now.
Right.
That's what the big hole, if you saw that.
Right.
And so.
And having the meter pulled, so there's no water going into the property?
No.
No. And no one plans on fixing it so
No,
that
we
someone,
won't,
you either want to donate it or tear it down and clean it up?
I think that's right, isn't it?
It,
I have a little bit of a hard time hearing, but.
Yeah, I do too.
I've talked to somebody, and, I mean, my uncle was, it's not my decision or anything.
Right.
But, I was under the impression he was gonna demolish it at first, and then I guess they got to thinking about it, so he may try to see what he can do about a, carpenter or somebody come in and do whatever it needs to do, 'cause I know it's gonna need like new roof, and it's gonna, a lot of work, so I don't know what he's gonna come up with, and he doesn't
Right.
sound to me like he was objectionable to tearing it down eventually. He just
Right.
wants a chance to try to, if he can save it somehow.
Right.
And this historical society said they ever had a meeting the 23rd, but
23rd
I don't know,
of this month, it's
The
3
Sunday,
days
yeah.
from now?
and they were gonna discuss it, but I don't know if they're going to. It probably, I mean, to me, the walls are, I mean, the roof's straight.
Mm-hmm.
I walked around inside, the floor's solid, it's got some joists around that north end that's rotted away, that need to be replaced.
Right.
But,
when did you walk in at last?
Hmm?
When did you walk inside at last?
about a week ago,
Really? Okay.
maybe 2 weeks ago. I was up there last night with a guy he was gonna, my uncle had contacted him. He was the one on, Barton, I believe was his name.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess he does demolition work for the city. And he's supposed to give my uncle an estimate on it.
Okay,
But I don't know what they're going to decide on it.
okay,
Well, it's unsecure, and it's totally unsecure
right.
right
Yeah.
now with that back open.
Well,
and all
that's
that.
one thing he keeps talking about, so I haven't done anything, 'cause I don't know.
If a child
what
got
they're
in
gonna
there,
do.
that floor collapsed on
I thought we were gonna
roof.
tear it down originally, and so-
It is in bad shape, and that
Right.
if a child got in there, we have to look at the liability of the whole thing of
Right.
if a child got in there and the thing collapsed on them.
Well,
I mean, it would fall on you for sure, but, you know, we know about it.
the add-on is gone. I mean, it's a lot of it's rotted into the ground. They
Right.
did that years ago probably, but,
So,
Parents bought the house in the 50s.
right,
And a builder here in town moved it from Adair, and they bought it for a rental house.
right. And, well, here's the thing. It's got to get secured, or I can't really offer you any more time. Unless you're telling me that you can get that boarded up in a way that people can't just walk into it, you know, and knock down the grass and weeds, you know, to have it mowed and secured. you know, that would kind of get you your 30 days. Otherwise, I would have to go ahead and declare it to be tore down. But if you'll mow it and board it up so that people can't just walk into it.
If we got 2 sheets of plywood and put over that door and put a lot of screws all the way around, that would,
Yeah. Oh, sure.
I won't-
You
I
could,
could probably
you could
do that.
probably just put
I
one
know
piece
what
of
you're talking
plywood, you know, and just work around the frame if you can find good wood,
yeah.
you know, but that won't keep everyone out. That won't keep everyone out. You know that as well as I do, but it will keep the children out that may just be looking to explore something. So that's really, if would you do that for me? Will you secure it and
Yeah.
clean up the lot?
Put a couple pieces of plywood over it, the door.
Right, and mow the lot, the high grass? And mow the high grass off?
Would it be all right just to spray it with a,
Yes,
I
and
sprayed around the front of it, I just
spray
hadn't
it,
got to the back of it.
spray it will kill it, but then it's gotta get
Yeah.
knocked down, right? It can't be over 12 inches. That's what the code is.
yeah, I haven't handled the mowing on it myself, but for several years, but,
Right.
we'll
Well,
have to talk to the,
well, if you chemically mow it, it's still, and when it dies back, as long as it's under 12 inches, right? So it doesn't look like, it's a jungle.
yeah.
Because it looks like a pretty jungle right now. It's really getting going. Will you take care of that for me?
I suppose so.
Yeah, he has quite a bit of building experience, so
Okay.
yeah, we'll do what we can.
Okay.
He can surely,
All right, so let's go ahead and get that taken care of, get it secured and get it mowed, and we'll revisit this in a month. See if they want to take it at the Historical Society, they'll have to do it this month, because if they don't take it this month, then next month, whenever we have our meeting on the 17th, I'll go ahead and rule that it needs to be tore down. So they think,
everyone I talk to, they need months. They need,
Okay.
what
Well-
is it, Preservation, Oklahoma?
Oh, I
That
don't
we-
know, I just sent them an
but
email,
anyway.
but they never answered.
well, yeah, and that might be barking up a tree that, you know, we don't have the time for right now, because it can't stay in the condition that it's in.
There's not been utilities there so long that the utility department doesn't even have a record of it ever having utilities. Does that make sense?
Well,
Now,
they found the gas meter.
well, they found the gas meter,
And
but as for, so, and their utilities goes back over 15 years or 18. I can't remember the
I wonder-
records.
Well, I think the gas line is still down there, which, and it's a pretty deep hole. It looked like it. I just saw it from the car yesterday.
Okay.
Okay, well,
We'll be back on the 17th to revisit this and just get that secured and mowed. And we'll make a determination at that point, okay? See where we're at.
I don't wanna see, okay, I'm gonna say it anyway.
Okay.
The city has a lot of mowing to do just across the road. They have horseweeds that are much taller than I am, growing beside the road on the other, across.
Well, an easement is not city property, though.
Oh, is that right?
No, it's the adjoining property owners owned to the center of the street. We have easements that are built our roads on,
Yeah.
but the people who actually own those ditches are the property owners that
Well, I
adjoin
guess
it.
I understand that about the easement, but okay. Well,
Yeah.
whoever told me that just said that it's a city.
Right,
And
right,
I
right.
appreciate the.
And sometimes the county will go in and clear sight distance triangles and along the sides, but that's because the property owners don't do it,
Yeah,
and they should.
yeah, that's right. Okay, well, thank you.
Mm-hmm. Okay, item number 9 tonight is in the matter of the dilapidation of the property for DJ Murphy, Inc. at 1200 Southwest First.
Tim, we did not visit this one.
We didn't visit this one, no. Is anyone here for TJ Murphy? Haven't heard from him.
And I don't think their letter came back.
This property was some kind of retail of
It's
some
a-
kind.
Yeah, it's a shop.
And it has been, like this for at least a couple of years.
Yeah, I recognize it.
And
Yeah.
the neighbors to the west are complaining about rodents and animals that are just nesting underneath it like
Sure.
crazy, so they're,
Yeah, and looks like they're not really doing the vegetation much either. No.
no, it's,
Yeah, well, on
Oh, maybe something did get returned. I see. Did their letter come back?
certified mail, returned to sender and unable to forward, yeah, it was returned.
So they didn't get their letter to know to be here.
Okay. Well,
And I sent it to the address that was on the assessor site, where they pay their taxes.
are they the same people that own the oil deal on the north part of North Mill? Do you know? Oh, is that right? That's Rice, okay.
I don't know them. I don't know who they are, DJ Murphy.
well, did you did a demolition on this one, but did you do an abatement for vegetation and
I
trash?
did not know
Okay.
on the trash and vegetation. I didn't know I needed to do both. I thought if we do the demolition, we always did
Right,
mow ready
right.
for it.
Do you think we need to try another way of reaching them? Find an address to notify them of this first, or do you want
Well-
to just follow on through with it?
Do we not do the newspaper and
I haven't, but
You know, as far as, we posted it, he's posted the property, and it's been posted for quite a while. He's been working on this, looks like January is, there's a bunch of, then they got this outbuilding it's pretty scary.
That's the
All of this?
backside, that's the
Yeah.
back side of it, yeah.
That's, all of that underneath there is just a place for varmints.
Yeah, that's gonna be
Coyotes
that's the east side,
right,
that's the front.
right. And they've not made any contact with you in this time since January?
No, or you.
Since January, because, and the certified letter's being returned. So, they have notice on their building, and their mailing address from the county is being returned to us.
What's the address on the mailing? I'm looking,
it's on that envelope.
it's underneath the yellow.
Yeah, you can't really see it.
Look at the second page of the letter. It's down at the very bottom of the second page of the letter. Where your signature is.
Where my signature is?
Yeah.
Okay.
At the very bottom of the page, then where my signature is.
Okay. I'm not seeing it. Sorry. I didn't know if I need to go,
210 North Mill.
yeah, 210 North Mill.
Oh,
is- That's where it went.
Street address at 1200 Southwest First.
That's where the property is.
Street address, legal description.
Here. Yeah, that's where it was sent.
210, 200 North Mill.
That's on Mill Street.
So I can try to go find that address and let them know.
North Mills, that'd be around where he was.
The oil company.
The oil company.
That's what I was thinking was.
Well, that might be something that you want to,
But
but,
it was
but is it,
returned.
yeah,
It was returned from there.
Is it 200 or 210? I thought it was
200 is what I know.
Okay, yeah, 200 North Mill. That's what they got too. I will.
so this got mailed to that vacant
To that,
property.
no, it got mailed to 200 North, got mailed to 200 North Mill and returned.
Turner North Mills,
Unable to
Is it?
forward. Return to sender, unable to forward,
Right.
return to sender.
Right.
No longer,
At-
wait a minute, it says they've written on it, no longer here.
Okay.
All right, well, and that's not good for the city or our situation that we find ourselves here tonight. The property is in dilapidated state and is in such a state that it needs to be removed, or in any case, needs to be tore down. So that, I think I'll go ahead and make that, let's tear that one down.
Need dates?
The dates,
Like a beginning and an ending date, because I have to put that in the letter, when to
Okay.
begin to tear down,
yeah,
when to end.
beginning today and ending the 17th of August.
And I will try to find an address to reach to them.
Right, try to find a person to contact, or,
Contact, yeah.
do a Google search or something. But we'll move this to the 17th and do the demo.
Can I make the date tomorrow,
Yes.
begin tomorrow?
Sure.
And then ending August 17th. Okay.
All right.
Kenny's got a question.
on that property, is there any other structures? Does the whole lot need to be cleared off? Because we've run into this before where there be one outbuilding that needs to also go, but we forget to mention that. So does the whole property need to be cleared off and cleaned and mowed and
Mm-hmm.
what other things do we need other than just demoing this building?
Well, here's the unique situation with this one,
Mhm.
okay? The address itself goes to the house, which is to the east of it. This address, this property didn't even have an address, and it was a business. Don't ask me how all this worked. And that's where the mail used to go to for the little store next door, which they owned,
Okay. Mom and pop.
mom and pop store of selling knickknacks or something. And then there's a big open lot, and other storage, or whatever you would call it, out back, a barn, so I don't know that all those structures need tore down, but I don't know, this one definitely is an issue.
Right.
Do we need to, would you like to look at it sometime?
Yeah, that might be something that we can run by. If you want to spend some time with me a little bit tomorrow or the next day or whatever,
We can do that.
or whenever next time you work. I'm freed up. All right, but we'll go ahead and just put that off till the next month, and me and Trent will go out there and
So
look. at
hold
that
off
one.
on
Yeah, hold-
declaring it?
Yeah, hold off on tearing it down
Okay.
until we do
removing-
some investigation, but
Okay.
we'll look into it and try to
All
find
right.
somebody to contact.
Removing, declaring it dilapidated, and moving it to August 17th hearing?
Yes.
All right. Got it.
Okay, in the matter of the dilapidation of the property of Bob D. and Deborah D. McGuire at 519 North Garfield.
You have a letter from them in the file. This one was, by their choice, tore down,
Mm-hmm.
but they have a letter there they have sent.
Oh, yeah. And, Trent, we walked this lot.
Yes.
And it's right next to the historical house, right?
Right.
And there's a lot of stuff on there that still needs to be cleaned off, but it needs to be handled on more of a nuisance
Okay,
case.
we can.
That we can close, I think that we can close the abatement process, not the abatement process, the demolition case. We can
Okay.
close it because that house is gone. But having building a pond where the house was that's gonna have stagnant water is a violation. The high grass and weeds is a violation. The storage sheds and the stray cat, whatever that is, cat house thing,
Cat house.
that all needs to be cleaned off. So, but that's on a different, but that's on a different track. That's on a nuisance case, not on a demolition case.
Yes, sir.
So, so I think that this one can be closed.
May I ask, what about the demolition that turned into a pond?
Well, that's going to be stagnant water.
So do we-
Standing stagnant water, and, you know, just photograph it next time it rains,
So
probably tonight.
is that a new case?
Yes.
On the property owner, or is that a new case on the person that did the demolition?
No, it'd be a case on whoever owns the property.
Sure.
You know, and if he was here, I remember visiting with him last month. He said that he was gonna take care of all this.
Okay.
He did get rid of the trash and the junk that came
This
from
one,
the house.
this one is a new case. They haven't been here before.
Oh,
This one is a new case.
this is a brand-new case?
Yes.
Okay. Well, looks like you know, the stray cat house and the storage shed, you know, all that stuff needs to go. Since there's no primary use, it can't have a secondary use.
Okay, I'll get in touch with them.
Yeah, so we can work with that if you need
Yeah,
to.
absolutely.
And
You bet.
see
We'll
what we
get that
can do.
taken care of.
So we'll set that to the 17th.
Well, you're closing it, so
Yeah, we're closing the demo.
closing it, and he's gonna handle the rest on
Right.
a nuisance.
Yes, I'll
Yeah.
handle the rest of it.
Okay, very good. Let's
Okay.
close. In the matter, item number 11, in the matter of dilapidation on the property of Mr. G's Remodel LLC, 317 North Hogan. Howdy.
How you doing?
I'm doing fine. How are
Doing all right.
you? Okay.
Since I received that notification, that was a rent to own with some people. And, they've been a thorn in my side from day one. And, Sergeant Humphrey's well familiar with that whole situation, not only on the trashy part, but as far as the other legal end as well. And, but these people had defaulted, and when Sergeant Humphrey, condemned the place, it was actually, a blessing for me.
Right.
And the town here, to
Right.
get them out of here.
And you know,
So since then, we got a big roll-off in. We immediately cleaned all the contents out of the house, have cleaned all the property up outside, and we
Yeah.
mowed the yard yesterday.
well, yeah, this is, in the back of the property, looks like somebody dug up the sewer line.
I have no idea on that. I wondered
There's-
that
there's
myself.
There's a hole 3-4 feet deep with poke salad. You know what poke salad is? It grows where people don't mow.
Right.
It's growing all around it. It's
Now that-
3-4 foot tall.
On the left side
Mm-hmm.
of the driveway,
Yes.
that is where now we haven't addressed that issue. Now I had a question about the hole.
Let me show you this picture
Talking about the end of the driveway.
right here.
Yeah, that's where they
This
dug
is
the
a
hole.
driveway. Yeah, there's
I don't-
sewer line. There's
Yeah.
sewer line out
I
there.
had no clue.
Your sewer line might not even be connected right now.
Yeah, I had,
Somebody has put
yeah,
something together out there and buried it, and there's standing water in that hole.
yeah. I've seen that.
So, you know, but so what is your plan on addressing that side of it? You know, making sure that the utilities get connected back?
Yes,
And-
yeah,
and we
from here
get with
on,
this-
talked to
this-
Sergeant
Right.
Humphrey about this. We got everything, all the trash out of there, out of the
Right.
house. All the trash is out of the yard. The yard was mowed yesterday.
Right.
This, I had a
This is-
question,
Yeah,
so,
that's an addition
yes.
that's been built onto the side, it's basically looks like a wash and dryer
It's just a
hookup.
little laundry room thrown on there.
Right,
So from here on, after I got past this hearing, my next step is to get a licensed electrician and a plumber to come and check
see what you need to do.
those things are, because I
I don't,
had questions about that in the back myself.
I don't think that's right. this right here, this, the way that this is framed in,
Right.
that looks pretty scary. It looks like you're walking up on a porch or a deck, and you got all of these, you know, if you rent this out to somebody and they're doing laundry and it gets 15 degrees outside, those pipes are going to get froze.
Right.
You know.
Yeah, that can be redone.
Yeah, and absolutely, anything can be redone.
Yeah.
But I'm glad for you that this is gonna get better, and I'm glad for the neighborhood that it's going to get better for them.
It's already better.
Right, and I'm sure it is, I'm sure it is. We still got a ways to go, and as long as we're making progress, and that's what I see here, is that we've made some progress, really good progress. I do want to find out what where that sewer line and all that sewer pipe,
Yeah, I
and
do
that
too.
depot, what that was involved in, because something happened there.
Yeah.
Whether that's still connected, we don't know.
I have no idea either, because once I got the property back, you know, from the hearing and everything notified, I mean, I had to wade through the tall grass to even see what was there.
Yeah, and it's opening up now, and you can
And
kind of
so
see up to the
That was when we
property.
found that,
Right.
and, but that's where the plumber will come into play
Okay.
there.
Right, and you just
And
need.
then this over here, we just, I mean, it just, right over here, here
Right,
you go,
right,
is, we've still gotta clear that,
right.
clean that off.
And
At the
take
back
the-
corner,
yeah,
back left corner,
back left corner, that's
Yes.
where this is.
yes.
And this property line
Right.
has these limbs hanging down and all that
Yeah.
stuff. But, you know, trying to make it easier for the next guy coming through. But we've taken care of, the graffiti, I guess. You've taken care of that too. I don't know what this is.
These people were heavy, heavy druggers,
Okay.
and,
And they just like to draw
well,
or something.
Sergeant Humphrey could tell
Yeah,
you.
well,
There-
right. I know,
There's more. Not only them, but they had some, children, they had 2 children that were
and that,
serious issues.
the innocent folks, and that's what's heartbreaking.
I mean,
All right, so, you're Mr. G's remodel,
Yes, sir.
okay, and what's your first name?
Joel?
Joel?
Uh-huh.
If I gave you 30 days, and we can come back in here and visit, you can give Cheryl the progress, you can email her or Trent, let them know what's going on.
Absolutely.
That we're bringing this property back into something that people could live in.
Absolutely.
And I don't know what happened inside that house, but I know that it's gonna need a lot of work to be,
I thought
to be
I
safe.
knew nasty until I saw that.
yeah.
Yeah,
It brings it scares you. It really does what humanity can do.
yeah.
And it makes no sense.
But they're down there in Mama's hair now.
Yeah,
in
okay.
Wagner.
Okay, well, that's fine. We'll set this out to August 17th, and we'll revisit this, and you can update me, update them,
Absolutely.
and we'll see where we're at with it.
All right.
I don't want to tear down a property that you want to fix.
No,
And
it's not
that's,
terrible.
right.
Yeah.
So as far as the washroom and all that, finding out what we need to do to make that
Absolutely.
structural and safe for the
Yep.
people and the plumbing and the next folks, you know, that might be moving there, that they don't have any problems, or the next person that buys your property,
Right.
they don't have problems later
Yeah.
on. You know, do you have any questions for me?
No.
Okay. Well, then, Joel, we'll see you,
17th?
yeah, we'll see you back here the
All
17th.
right, sounds good.
I'll be sending out a letter to let you know, so you'll
Thank
get a
you.
letter in the mail. You'll be getting a letter in the mail to remind you to.
Okay, all right,
Okay.
sounds good.
Appreciate it.
Okay, and that concludes the public hearing, exit public hearing and adjourn. Do you have any other questions?